Howdy y'all, and welcome into Wylie Sports Guy. I'm your host Clayton. Today on May 31st of 2025. Let's get into today's recap. As you can hear, my voice is a little lower than usual, so I was kind of screaming my head off last night at the DBU game and dealing with allergies. So my voice might be a little lower, but I'm still going through it. Remember, tomorrow, no episode out tomorrow because it's Sunday. I always take off on Sundays, make it the Lord's Day, and go from there. But let's get into today's recap. We'll start off with the NCAA Softball Women's College World Series, where Tennessee won last night 11-3 in 5 innings. Tennessee's bats were on fire last night by hitting 7 runs in the first inning, then 2 home runs in the second inning. Florida would hit back-to-back homers, though, in the top of the 4th. But from then on, it was all Tennessee. Tennessee now waits for the loser of, I believe, either Texas or Oklahoma or Texas Tech and UCLA tonight. And I'll give you the times and the scheduling on that one here in just a minute. Oregon won last night in 10 innings over Mississippi 6-5 with a walk-off walk by Kedre Bouchard. And the Ducks survived, so that means the Gators and Ole Miss are officially out of the Women's College World Series. We'll have the second round of the winners bracket, also in double elimination style. Oklahoma plays Texas at 2 p.m. on ABC. Texas Tech plays UCLA at 6 p.m. on ESPN. We'll give you the rest of the scores going into Monday. We'll recap those on Monday for y'all, and we'll keep you updated on what the scores are going to look like for the Monday game and the Sunday games. So keep us in touch. Moving on now to the NCAA Baseball Regionals. We start off with the Friday scores as the road to Omaha officially began yesterday. Texas at their host in Austin, they won 7-1 over Houston Christian. Even though an amazing throw from the right fielder in Houston Christian made something happen, but unfortunately it was not enough. Shout out to West Virginia winning 4-3. Wylie, Texas native here, former Wylie Pirate himself, Reese Bassinger, ended up going 1.2 innings pitched with 1 walk and a strikeout, and he celebrated just like yes, just like that at the end of the 9th. Got a big strikeout for the Mountaineers. Mountaineers ended up walking it off in the bottom of the 9th. Arkansas ended up winning yesterday 6-2 in their regional. USC won 13-2 in a trouncing over the Horned Frogs. UTSA won 10-2 over Kansas State. Duke won 12-5 over Oklahoma State. OU came in and won 7-4 over Nebraska. Home runs from Easton Carmichael and Drew Dickerson. By the way, that Drew Dickerson 2-run shot, that was after, I believe it was Scott Mudler who slid into first base, but had to go back into the training room. Crowd got fired up on him, and then Dickerson hit an Oppo Taco down the right field line. Pretty awesome. And then we got to talk about Baton Rouge, which was yesterday all about the rain. LSU won 7-0 last night, and then DBU got 7 seconds going before time would say, oh yeah, you have to play in the morning. This thing got going at 10:59 at night last night, but DBU ends up winning it 6-2 over Rhode Island. Home runs from Chayton Krause, Luke Kiefner in the 9th, and Keaton Grady and Krause hit ones in the bottom of the 1st. Those were back-to-back jacks, by the way. We also had some big upsets as well. Southern Miss lost to Columbia 11-4. Number 12 seed Oregon lost to Utah Valley 6-5. Number 10 Ole Miss lost to Murray State 9-6. And Oregon State lost to St. Mary's last night 6-4. Moving on to the Saturday action and elimination game right now over on ESPNU. It's the one I'm currently watching right now. Oklahoma State in the lead in the top of the 7th now with 2 outs. Cowboys up 10-5 over Binghamton. TCU plays Oregon State today at 2 p.m. in an elimination game on ESPNU. Houston Christian versus Kansas State in the 2 p.m. ESPN Plus elimination game. West Virginia and Clemson at 5 p.m. on ACC Network. That is in the winner's bracket. Also in the winner's bracket in Austin, University of Texas San Antonio versus Texas at 8 p.m. on SEC Network. LSU versus DBU, 8 p.m. on ESPNU, winners bracket of the Baton Rouge Regional, and then North Carolina versus Oklahoma, 2 p.m. or 5 p.m. on ESPNU, and then 2 p.m. over on ESPN Plus is Rhode Island and Arkansas, Little Rock. That is an elimination game. Let's now check in on the Texas Rangers last night during Texas Tech night. Josh Young, by the way, was the one to get the first pitch from Texas Tech head basketball coach Grant McCaslin, who was in attendance to throw the first pitch. The Rangers got the run scoring started last night in the bottom of the first on a Josh Young RBI single. Young would actually have a pretty good night going into the night. Sam Haggerty, by the way, would score in the bottom of the first. Moving on to the bottom of the second, where the Rangers actually scored for the first time. The Rangers have gotten runs in back-to-back innings since last Saturday against the White Sox. Sam Haggerty would hit a 2-run triple that would score Marcus Semien and Kyle Gashioka. By the way, Marcus Semien also had a heck of a night last night. Wyatt Langford would hit his 10th home run of the year. A 2-run shot to score Sam Haggerty. Moving on to the bottom of the sixth, Semien would continue his great night with an RBI single that would score Jake Berger. Sam Haggerty would hit another RBI single. He was on all 5 times last night as Kyle Higashioka scored on that one. Josh Young would hit a 2-run RBI single as he had a 3 RBI night. That would score Semien and Sam Haggerty. And then Marcus Semien, who has been batting below 200 and a below 400 OPS, which is on-plate slugging. So that's going to combine your on-base percentage and your slugging. He ended up getting his 4th home run of the year in the bottom of the 7th. A 2-run shot to score Kyle Higashioka. Then the Cardinals would finally score with a Lars Nootbaar RBI double. That would score Victor Scott. But it was all Rangers last night, 11-1. The pitching went like this. Jack Leiter was awesome last night, 5 2/3, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He's now officially 4-2 on the season. Sharman Armstrong came out of the bullpen in the 5th to complete that inning. And Caleb Bosley, as they call him, 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, and a save. That's his first save of the year, and I think it's his first career save, I believe, as well. We will have Sonny Gray versus Patrick Corbin today on Victory Plus at 3:05 and on the Rangers Sports Network. Also, last night, Evan Carter had a AAA round rock start. Unfortunately, I do not have the stats on that one, so I'll bring that to you on Monday. And then Mike Trout last night went 1 for 5 back from the IL against the Guardians. Speaking of also someone who came back from the IL, Corey Seager got his first single back from the IL as well yesterday. Houston also won yesterday against Tampa Bay 2-1. Let's now do a quick check-in on the NBA and the NHL. Remember tonight, Game 6 between New York at Indianapolis. That is tonight at 7 p.m. on TNT, True TV, and Max. If Indianapolis wins tonight, they move on to the finals. If not, we get a Game 7 Monday night from MSG Madison Square Garden. That should go nuts. Moving on to the Stanley Cup now. Wednesday night at 7 p.m. they will have Game 1 of the Stanley Cup. Florida at Edmonton. That'll be on TNT, True TV, and Max. So there you go. That's when the Stanley Cup will be happening. We'll make sure to keep you updated on the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup as well, even though my teams aren't in there. My Mavs and my Stars aren't in there. By the way, I got a pretty funny joke I'll have to mention up in my next segment as we get ready to talk about the PGA Tour. Let's now move on into the Memorial Tournament. Just like I was saying, talking about the PGA Tour, Nick Taylor and Ben Griffin last week's Charles Schwab Challenge winner are both in the lead at the Memorial, 7 under. Scotty Scheffler, 4 under. By the way, he had a pretty funny joke yesterday during one of his press conferences. As someone asked Scotty, who would you like to win the NBA Finals? He goes, the Mavericks. Yeah, the Mavericks ain't gonna win this year. Sam Burns and Jordan Spieth are right behind each other with 3 under. Tom Hodge, Russell Henley, Colin Morikawa, and Xander Schauffele are not too far behind with 1 under. Ricky Fowler is +1. Ludwig Aberg is +2. Maverick McNeely's in 31st, and Wyndham Clark is in 50th. I believe Clark has +6, and I believe McNeely has +3. So yeah, we'll keep you covered on the final round and the third round going into Monday. We'll see who ends up winning. Could Scotty Scheffler come back to win this thing? And then, hey, Jordan Spieth in the top 5. Good stuff from Spieth, and we'll see what happens from there. Let's now talk about some of the motorsports happening this weekend. Last night was the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Brackley Roofing 200. The pole was given to Corey Heim due to a rainout at Nashville Super Speedway. But the winner would be Raja Karuth, who would end up coming from 10 laps. With 10 laps to go, would end up passing Corey Heim and Lane Riggs to get the win, and would get his first win of the season in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Shout out to Raja Karuth. And by the way, fun fact about Raja Karuth is he is one of the only few black NASCAR drivers around. Of course, you got Bubba Wallace, but when you see a guy like Raja Karuth win this thing, it is pretty cool. Pretty sneaking cool to see him win that race. Second place would be Corey Heim. Third place would be Daniel Hemrick. Fourth would be Lane Riggs. Fifth would be Corey Day, the young upstart, also a teammate of Raja Karuth, kind of known as the next Larson, everyone's trying to call him, or the next Jeff Gordon, I guess. I don't know. Caden Honeycutt in 6th, Chandler Smith in 7th, Ty Majeski was in 8th, Bailey Curry, a native Texan, was in 9th, and Grant Infinger was in 10th. The NASCAR Xfinity Series is tonight on the CW at 6:30 p.m. for the Tennessee Lottery 250. I unfortunately do not have the poll winner, but I will give that to you on Monday. And then the NASCAR Cup Series is live 6 p.m. on Prime Video, the Cracker Barrel 500. I believe pre-race could get going at 5 o'clock over on Prime, but good luck to whoever wins that race. We'll make sure to bring you the poll winner and the winner as well. We'll give you those results on Monday. Let's now check in also on some other DFW sports news. Tonight, Dallas Trinity FC has to get a win to lock in and claim a spot in the USL Super League Women's Division, or Women's League, tonight against Carolina FC. That is from the Cotton Bowl tonight at 6:30 on Peacock. The Chicago Sky at the Dallas Wings tonight at 7 p.m. on KFAA here in Dallas-Fort Worth, or on the WNBA League Pass. Remember, you could go to wings.com, probably look up Watcher affiliates, and you can find out where the Wings are, and you can watch them in your area. Pretty much the same thing with the Mavericks, if I'm correct. And then Arlington at San Antonio tomorrow at 11 a.m. on ABC. This will be the final game of the UFL season for Arlington, as unfortunately they were one spot shy of making the UFL championship, and that's unfortunate for them, or the XFL championship technically. And then also I want to give my prayers and thoughts to Clay Thompson and his family, as his long bulldog, his good old bulldog Rocco, unfortunately passed away just a couple days ago. Hopefully Rocco is doing well up there in heaven, and my prayers and thoughts over there to the Thompson crew over there. And even Jock Peterson got a nice little message, the former Bay Area himself, because you remember Jock was with the Giants at the time. Clay Thompson was with the Warriors. He knew Rocco very well, so all my prayers and thoughts all over to Rocco, and hopefully Clay Thompson is doing well. Hey, bud, we got a good series, good season coming up for the Mavs. Hopefully that'll help him out as well, and he'll play better than he has before. But that's going to end up today's Wylie Sports Guy recap. Remember to go like and subscribe to this video. Share this with your family and friends who love sports and you want to know more about sports. Hey, remember, go check out our Wylie Sports Guy short form recaps over on Instagram. It's a little bit shorter. I try to make them shorter. Let me be honest. I try to make them shorter, but I hope y'all enjoyed today. Remember to keep God first. Keep Jesus first. God bless. Don't mess with Texas, guys. I will see y'all on Monday. Adios, amigos.